Hi, I'm Kitty.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we're the O'Neill sisters, and we're going to show you how to make vintage brooch bookmarks.
We absolutely love rhinestone brooches and clip-on earrings and things that we see at the flea market and garage sales. We have quite a collection going, and we love looking for projects for them, and we think this project is darling.
We're going to show you everything you need to know to make these bookmarks. We're going to show you what crimp ends are and how to use them to turn the ribbon into a bookmark. And we're going to show you how to take the shanks off of rhinestone buttons and how to take the pinbacks off of brooches.
Plus, we have a clever trick for attaching the brooches and things to the ribbon.
And remember, if you have any questions or comments while you're working on your project, you can leave us a comment and we'll reply.
We're here to help.
Let's get started. To make the bookmarks, we raided our stash of vintage rhinestone brooches and things, and what we have are some earrings. These were clip-on earrings, and we cut the backs off of them. They're so pretty. And we have some pins and a nice big brooch. This one has a pin back on it, and we're going to show you how to cut that off. We love this one. It's been in our collection for quite some time. We're really excited to use it.
We've also got some pretty buttons. We've got one that's mother of pearl, and this one is a cameo. We actually snipped the shank off the back of that. We've got some heart charms here, just a collection of heart charms in different metals. And finally, we've got some tassels, and we'll show you what those are for later.
You'll also need ribbon, and we have a 9-inch piece of ribbon. We're using grosgrain. You'll need ribbon ends, 2 for each bookmark. These are crimp ends, and they're made to go on the end of ribbon like this. You'll want to make sure they're the same size, the same width as your ribbon. And we're going to secure those with some fabric glue.
You'll also need metal filigrees, and you can find these in the jewelry section of your craft store. And you'll also need jump rings.
And for tools, we need 2 pairs of pliers. We're using our chain nose pliers and our round nose pliers. And you'll need wire snips. So the first thing we want to do is cut the back off of our brooch pin here. And to do that, we've got wire snips. And this first one I already cut, and so I'm just going to pull that one apart. And I'll show you how to cut the other one. So to do that, I've got the wire snips down low. You might want to wear eye protection for this. And you just want to squeeze tight. Sometimes it takes a couple bites into it to get it to go. You can see it's already starting to mush a little bit. And there it came off. So now we've got a nice smooth back, and we can use that to make our dangle.
So to make our dangle, what we're going to do first is attach the ribbon ends to our ribbon. We like to add a little bit of glue to the ribbon to make sure that it's nice and sturdy and secure inside that crimp end.
You want to make sure that when you put the crimp end on, that it stays on the ribbon. And it's going to have this little heavy little dangle on it. So the glue is just a little insurance.
And I'm actually going to flip it over and do it on the other side as well, on the end.
Can't hurt, right?
Well, it'll attach it on both sides of our little crimp end.
Yes. And the crimp ends we got at the craft store in the jewelry findings and things. And we've also seen them online. You can buy them online.
So now here's our crimp end, and it just slides over the end of the ribbon. And what you want to be sure to do is make sure it lines up, because it's exactly the same length. These are both 1.5 inches. And now we've got our flat nose pliers, and what we're going to do with our flat nose pliers, or chain nose pliers, is press down on this from the side on our crimp end. It seems like you want to come in from this end, but it's too wide there. You won't get a nice compression. And trying to get it all the way into the middle a little bit there.
So it's got some teeth, and so you're trying to press those teeth together, and they're going to grab onto the ribbon.
So I'm just going to press that down right in the middle there, make sure it's nice and secure. And then we'll do the same thing on the other end.
And if you have thicker ribbon, if you find some nice vintage trims and they're kind of thicker, the teeth and the crimp end are going to be able to grab onto that more easily. This is grosgrain, so the glue is just going to help give it a little more body and security too. We tried this with satin, and we felt like we didn't like how the satin worked with the crimp ends.
No, velvet would be really nice.
Velvet would be great.
It would have a nice amount of tooth.
Yes, but we only found velvet in red.
Yeah, that's not the look we're going for. So we're doing the same thing on this end, just pressing in from the sides. And there we go.
That looks beautiful. So now we can start working on the dangles. We've got our beautiful brooch here, and we want to attach the heart from the bottom and hang this from the bookmark, but it doesn't have any loops. If it was like this, we could put the jump rings through these loops, but up here, no loops. So to solve that problem, we have these filigrees. So that was the purpose of getting the filigrees. We couldn't find one really big filigree for the back, so we just thought we'll glue 2 on this one. And we're going to glue one so it rises above the top a tiny bit, and that'll be our hole at the top. And then we're going to glue one so it falls below the brooch a tiny bit, and that'll be our hole at the bottom.
It sort of works like a bail, like adding a bail.
Like a bail on a pendant. And I've just got some industrial glue here. Put it on the back of the brooch. Gunk, gunk, gunk. And I want to make sure that I can see that little hole. There it is.
That looks pretty good.
Right there. Press that together. Set that down there. And do the same with the other one. Do some glue here. And then I've got the hole so I can see it. It's going to show. I'm going to set that there. And then that glue, it won't take too long to dry, but you definitely want to make sure it's dry or cured before you assemble the dangles. We're going to give it a few minutes to dry.
We let the glue dry for about 15 minutes, and you can see that we've got our 2 filigrees on the back here, and they're nice and secure. And now we're ready to attach the charm to the bottom and attach the top to our ribbon. To do that, we're going to use both pairs of pliers, and we're going to open a jump ring. And to do that, we're going to hold the jump ring on one side of the opening with one pair of pliers.
So she's got the opening at the top here.
And the other pliers on the other side of that opening. And we're going to rotate one toward the table and one toward the sky.
You don't want to open a jump ring this way. It will never be a good circle again. So instead you're kind of opening it by sliding it open that way.
Exactly.
It keeps the shape.
Exactly. So here's our open jump ring. And now what we're going to do is attach that to the bottom of our filigree there. And then I'm going to attach the heart to the other side. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see that the charm is on this side of the jump ring and the filigree is on that side. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did before to close the jump ring. I'm going to hold the jump ring on one side with one pair of pliers and grab the other side with the other pair of pliers and then rotate back to close it.
Yeah.
Perfect. That looks pretty good. And I'm going to check it just by mashing it a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit open.
These are big silver jump rings. We would really do this project with smaller gunmetal jump rings, but we wanted you to be able to see what we were doing.
So there's our heart attached, and we're ready to use the same technique to attach that to our ribbon. So here's our ribbon. We're going to get another jump ring and do the same thing. Grab one side, grab the other side, push one down toward the table and one up toward the sky.
We always use this technique to open jump rings.
And I'm going to attach that through that filigree.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to do this so you can see it a little bit better here. Take our ribbon end and fish that through just like that.
That's cool.
And now we're going to use both pairs of pliers and close our jump ring just like we did before. Like that.
Perfect.
And then I'm going to press it across just to be doubly sure that it's nice and closed. There we go. Terrific.
It's looking so cute already, but we have one more thing. We're going to add the tassel to the other side. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to use 2 pairs of pliers. You can use 2 chain nose pairs of pliers or just your regular household pliers. These are our jewelry making pliers, so these are the easy ones for us to use. So I'm going to grab the jump ring underneath, straight down from the opening. Opening's at the top. Rotate, just like Jennifer did. Put on my tassel. And then put it onto the end of the bookmark, which is now a bookmark, isn't it?
Yay! Yes, it looks like a bookmark to me.
And then I'm going to use the other side. Let me see. And just close that up.
Wonderful.
And there is our darling little bookmark. We finished making our bookmarks and we think they're really beautiful.
We made a whole bunch because we think they'll be great gifts.
They go together pretty fast.
We hope you have a fun time collecting rhinestone brooches and things and making your own vintage brooch bookmarks.